The Philadelphia Phillies are back tonight in action after an off day yesterday on Monday. They're looking to snap a 4-game losing streak against the Toronto Blue Jays up there in Canada. The Phillies are starting a 3-game series against the Blue Jays, who are having a pretty good season so far in 2025. They're 31-28 and second in the AL East behind the New York Yankees. So hopefully the off day yesterday for the Phillies helps them get back on track, help them clear their minds after, like I said, a 4-game losing skid with Bryce Harper out. Bryce Harper is expected to return to the lineup tonight against the Blue Jays, and Zach Wheeler is on the mound. So hopefully the Phillies, like I said, get back on track, get back to their winning ways, and kick off this 3-game series up there in Canada against the Toronto Blue Jays with a big win. This is Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content. And hallelujah, it is June. It's getting to be summertime, and I know one guy, especially on the Phillies, who is probably very, very, very excited and happy that the calendar is officially flipped to the month of June, and that is Kyle Schwarber, the Schwarbarian. He loves to hit his Schwar bombs here in June. He has had a ton of success in the month of June throughout his major league career. He has 61 career home runs in the month of June with 135 career RBIs, and he owns a .577 slugging percentage and a .932 OPS through 182 career games in the month of June. So he is one of the best power hitters in all of Major League Baseball, obviously, and one of the best power hitters to ever hit in the month of June. It's an impressive track record for the Schwarbarian. He's played 1 game so far in June, which came on Sunday in that loss. He went 1 for 4, but he did pick up an RBI against the Brewers, like I said, in that series finale loss in which they were swept by the Brewers in Philadelphia. But hopefully, Schwarber helps the Phillies get back on track starting today against the Blue Jays, and hopefully his success in June continues, as well as everybody else, because it is officially hitting season. And you know what that means? Charlie Manuel, the Phillies' legendary former manager, World Series champion manager, he was known for saying it's hitting season once the weather gets warmer, once it gets to summer months, once June hits. So it is officially hitting season, and I'm sure a lot of people like Charlie Manuel are excited to see what this Phillies lineup can do in the month of June here. Obviously, like I said, when the weather's warmer, it's easier to hit the baseballs. They travel farther. So hopefully the Phillies benefit from that. Their offense has been pretty good so far in 2025, as you would expect, because they have one of the best and deepest rosters in Major League Baseball. A lot of talent in the lineup. Unfortunately, they have hit a lull towards the end of May, the last week or so of May, while Bryce Harper was out of the lineup after getting hit in that surgically repaired right elbow by Spencer Strider of the Braves with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Kept him out for a week. But like I said, he's expected to return tonight against the Blue Jays. Hopefully, he provides that much-needed boost to get this offense back on track. Overall, despite their struggles that last week or so of May, the Phillies do still have the 6th most hits with 517 in Major League Baseball so far in 2025. They have the 7th most runs scored with 281, the 6th most RBIs with 267. They have the 5th highest batting average at 256, the 4th highest on-base percentage at 333, the 9th highest slugging percentage at 405, and the 6th highest OPS at 738 in all of Major League Baseball so far in 2025. So hopefully those numbers get even better as we get into hitting season. And hopefully somebody that the Phillies could benefit from, could contribute to hitting season potentially, is one of their top prospects, their number 3 prospect, outfielder Justin Crawford. Justin Crawford he just knows how to hit. So might as well bring him up for hitting season, am I right? See what he can do at the Major League level. He is killing it in AAA so far in 2025. It's his first full season with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. He is just a 21-year-old outfielder. He hits left-handed. He plays mostly in center field, a little bit of left field. Like I said, he's the Phillies' number 3 prospect per MLB Pipeline. He has a 338 batting average with a 407 on-base percentage, 438 slugging percentage, an 845 OPS with 11 doubles, 3 triples, and 23 RBIs with, as well, 20 stolen bases. He's got speed. He's a pretty solid fielder, and he knows how to hit the baseball. Now, the knock on Justin Crawford is his power ability. He has just 1 home run in 2025 so far, and he has just 13 home runs in 262 career minor league games so far. Obviously, that's not a huge issue. Some guys just aren't power hitters, and as you progress through the minor leagues, as you develop as a hitter, the power will come. So that's nothing really to worry about. I'm not worried about it. The Phillies shouldn't be worried about it. And if that's what's holding them back from calling him up sooner rather than later, then that's just a disgrace, because like I said, all he has done since he's been in the Phillies organization, since he was drafted in the first round a few years back, all he has done is hit at every single level. You don't have to hit home runs all the time. As long as you're getting on base, driving in runs, doing your job at the plate, that's all you can ask for. If you can hit, a team should find a spot for you in the lineup, and Justin Crawford can hit the baseball like anybody else out there. Hopefully, the Phillies do give him a shot sooner rather than later. Like I said, hopefully within the next month or so. There's been a lot of talk about whether they should call him up soon or not throughout the media, throughout the fan base, throughout all of Major League Baseball. Obviously, like I said, he is one of their top prospects and one of the top prospects in all of Major League Baseball. So the Phillies should give Justin Crawford a shot, bring him up for hitting season soon, and let him see what he can do, because the Phillies outfield has been a weakness, especially in center field and left field so far in 2025. So might as well give the kid a shot, see what he can do, see if he can be a better option than Johan Rojas out there, be a better option than Brandon Marsh out there, be a better option than even veteran Max Kepler out there. I believe he could definitely be a better option than Weston Wilson. So I'm all in favor of letting Justin Crawford come up, prove what he can do. They did it with Mick Abel against the Pirates. They're doing it again with Mick Abel. Obviously, Andrew Painter is going to be coming up sometime this year, most likely, as long as he doesn't have any setbacks. So the Phillies' future could be starting now, and it all starts soon. Hopefully, like I said, Justin Crawford gets his shot, because the Phillies need help hitting-wise in the outfield, and he can provide that. Like I said, he can hit, he's got speed, he's a good fielder, and it's at a position of weakness for the Phillies. Give him a shot, Rob Thompson. Give him a shot, Dave Dombrowski. Give him a shot, Phillies coaching staff / management, and let's see what the kid can do. Speaking of the future of this Phillies team, they do have an aging roster, an aging veterans. Like I said, some are in contract years, some are going to be going into a contract year next year, and one of them is JT Realmuto, the Phillies catcher. He's honestly one of the best Phillies catchers in their history to this point. He was a great trade acquisition back in 2019 from the Marlins, and he's been one of the Phillies' most consistent hitters, one of the best catchers in baseball throughout his Phillies tenure. He is in a contract year this year. He is 34 years old, which is old for a catcher. Obviously, their bodies and knees don't hold up that long, especially once you get to your mid to late 30s. You start slowing down. You see a lot of catchers move to first base, and now that there's a DH, to even DH. The Phillies obviously have Bryce Harper at first base. Right now they have Kyle Schwarber at designated hitter. They have other options they could use like designated hitter if they don't re-sign Kyle Schwarber. But obviously Bryce Harper is the long-term first baseman of this team. So when Realmuto can't get behind the dish every game like he does now, there's really just not room for him. And especially, he's been struggling at the plate in 2025. Just not the same hitter as we're accustomed to seeing from JT Realmuto. He's still a very good defensive catcher, very elite in that category, but he's just having a very down year at the plate in 2025. He has a 223 batting average, a 292 on base percentage, a 359 slugging percentage, and a 651 OPS. He is 4 for his last 30 at the plate with no extra base hits, and he has just 3 RBIs since May 23rd. Is he becoming an issue for the Phillies? Obviously, they don't have much proven quality catching depth behind JT Realmuto. Rafael Marchand, he's a younger catcher. He's getting a shot this year as JT Realmuto's backup. He hasn't had many opportunities. The Phillies We're hoping he could be the future at the position. He just hasn't really shown that. A lot of injuries throughout his career have derailed him from taking full advantage of that. Obviously, Garrett Stubbs is down in AAA. When he was with the Phillies throughout his couple years up at the major league level, he, great guy for the pitching staff, great teammate, great energy, solid behind the plate, but just really no offensive production out of Garrett Stubbs. And behind them, they don't have much at catcher besides Eduardo Tate, who is one of their top prospects, but he's just 18 years old and he's playing at the low levels of the minor leagues. So he's still got a long way to go, a long road ahead for his development until he's ready for Major League Baseball, for his debut. But right now, in the present moment, is JT Realmuto a problem? I don't know. Like I said, he's still a very good defensive catcher. He calls a great game behind the plate, but his offense is just not there in 2025. Hopefully he turns it around and helps this Phillies team, helps the lineup win games, produce at the plate like we've seen from him in the past so many times. But as of now, it's just not looking good for JT Realmuto. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe for all things Philadelphia Phillies right here on Phillies Daily. Hopefully the Phillies get back on track today with Bryce Harper returning, Zach Wheeler on the mound against the Blue Jays, and get a big series opening win up there in Canada. See you guys all tomorrow. Hopefully we're talking about a Phillies win. So, like always, go Phils.